Hi, I'm Matty Bell from Vision Homes Jet Ski Adventures and welcome to episode 10. So today we get a little window of opportunity to go and test the Minn Kota, the rear mounted Minn Kota out off Bribie. It's a bit windy, we're the only people out there when we head out. So while we're testing the Minn Kota, we'll throw the sand crab pots in. We're literally only there for an hour and a half. So hopefully you pick up a couple of sand crabs, see how that Minn Kota works being mounted on the rear. And then we'll probably have a little look at front mount versus rear mount, chat about that later in lessons learned. So let's get out in the water. Dropped the 55-pound thrust Minn Kota, power drive into the water. It's about 20 to 25 knots. See how that goes. It seems to be holding okay, which is good. Ideally, I don't normally go out in the weather if it's over sort of 15 knots. Offshore it's about 30, 35. It's pretty rough out there. That's why there's no boats out here. Anyway, long story short, rear mounted Minn Kota works fine. You get a bit of extra water in the footwells. For me, I need a mount for when we're offshore, we're flying chasing tuna. So I need to brace the Minn Kota so that the back works perfect. I'm going to put another mount on the front so that I have the option of front or back because when it's calm water and I don't need to use that long range fuel tank that's 40 kilos extra, I can mount the Minn Kota on the front and get the best of both, or front or back.
We've got it. First pot. First spot in Bribie Island.
So when we left this morning, there was not one boat that went out, or jet ski. We've just come back and there has been one over there. You can see that went out, one other jet ski was still on the way back in. But yeah, 30 knots. However, we'll go back, wash it all up, and yeah, a couple of crabs for our day's effort. Another good thing is that we can use these solar panels. If you're camping or you're out and about, for the Minn Kota, you can plug it into the Anderson plug just in here and charge up the battery, the third battery, the lithium battery. So it's a really good setup. And yeah, like I said, if you're camping, it's a good way to keep your battery charged, especially it's the third battery. Okay, so lessons learned is putting the Minn Kota on the back of the jet ski is perfect. While we're out there, we dropped the pots in, we picked up a couple of sand crabs. So back to that conversation around Minn Kota front mounted or back mounted. I'm actually going to put a mount on the front. There's these little plugs that you get from Minn Kota that are much more waterproof than the Anderson plugs. I'll show a picture of that. So I'm going to mount one at the front, mount one at the back, then you can choose if you want it front mounted or rear mounted. While we had the Minn Kota out there, we dropped the pots in, we picked up a couple of sand crabs, but unfortunately we ate them already as soon as we got back. So now we've got to pick a couple up from Morgan's. So yeah, once we pick out a few fresh sand crabs, we're going to go across to cooking with Jessie Beth and see what she's got, a unique recipe. So really looking forward to that. So yeah, let's go to cooking with Jessie Beth.
Hi, good evening. We're here again cooking with Joseph. So what I'm going to show you tonight, we're doing crab omelette, but with a twist. In the Philippines, we normally put it back on the shell of the crab. So this is a sand crab, which we've already eaten, and it's clean. So we'll be putting it back, everything in there and then refry it. I have red and white onion, and I love garlic. It's about 3 cloves of garlic, and tomato, carrots, chestnut. Also we have what we call a little dice of jicama, and 2 eggs. We will be having salt with that, as well as pepper. We need a little bit of meat to mix with our crab meat. Saute everything in first, except the crab meat and the eggs. Okay, once it's all done, we'll be putting it here in the bowl, mix it together, put it back on the shelf. Meat in here to squeeze out the water. That way, when you mix it with the meat, it won't be as soggy. Onion first, simply because I don't like my garlic to get burned and it becomes bitter. Okay, I love my onions, so I put a lot of onions in it, because when it's caramelized, it brings out the sweetness and adds to the flavor. I put a little bit of fish sauce on my onion. See, the edge of the onion is turning brown. So that's when I put in my garlic. My tomato. Tomato is optional. 300 grams of minced pork. So I put that in there. Flavor that with my pepper, salt, and just a tiny bit of oyster sauce. Tiny dice of carrot. We have this as well to give you a bit of crunch. And I prepared a little bit leftover of my jicama. We call it sinkamas, but it's actually jicama. I add a little bit of soy sauce. So it's time to stop cooking. All I do is actually just pour that over. Okay? And as you can see on the side, I have 2 eggs, but I can't put the eggs yet until this one gets cold. Otherwise, the eggs will get cooked. And maybe let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. So we can put the egg to help bind it, and then mix it again totally so the eggs will bind everything. Mix it with the egg. Make sure it's all incorporated. Just have to put that in the shell. Not too much, just fill in. As you see, that's how it is. And then we'll just wait for it to get hot. What we do is we put it first like this, and then you can turn it over after it gets cooked underneath. As you can see, I'm flipping already one. It shouldn't take too long. We'll just wait for it to get brown a bit. And I'll show you the finished product once it's cooked. Okay, bon appetit!
Bon appetit!